Today we're going to talk about 5 different ways to crochet a bag. Yes, there are 5 different ways. There are probably more, but I'm going to focus on 5 different ones. All right, so we're going to talk about number 1 first. Let's hop right into it. The first way to crochet a bag is doing a rectangle and then folding it up and sewing it up. So I did this one just recently when we did the origami bag. So let me show you the origami bag, okay? This is the origami bag. So let me make it flat so you can see it properly. Okay, well, it's not quite flat, but I guess you can see it still, right? So this is the origami bag, okay? It is made from a rectangle and then folded together and then sewn right here. So let me show you this one. This is easier to see since it's light. It's sewn right here in this spot, okay? It is made from a rectangle. In fact, it has 2 pieces, right? So this part is also a rectangle and then just sewn onto the side right here, as you can see, right? So let me show you how to fold this actually. I have here a paper ready so you can see that. So there's many different ways to fold a rectangle into a bag, but this is for the origami bag specifically. A lot of people have asked me for this, so here we go. So you have your rectangle, which is 1 part this way and 3 parts this way. So just to give you an idea, okay, I'm just basing it on my measurement for my little tiny rectangle. So this is 9 centimeters, and then this is 3 times 9 centimeters, if that makes sense. That means it is 27 centimeters. I'm using centimeters here. German, okay? Anyways, so we have the rectangle is 1, 2, 3, okay? That's how it has to be in order to be folded properly for the origami bag. So now that you have that, let's say you have your rectangle ready, your crocheted rectangle, you're going to fold one side in. As you can see, it is flat right here, okay? So there's a rectangle. You're going to take the other one over here. You're going to fold it over so it's also a rectangle. And now you're going to fold the entire piece in half. Do you see there's a piece right here? It's literally folded in half. And this is how you crochet and then fold together. And then right here is where you sew together the origami bag 1 time here and then 1 time here. And then you add your handle right on top. Okay, so that is how you do this. And then you have your bag, right? So this is how you fold the origami bag. So this is number 1. This is one example on how to fold a rectangle into a bag, okay? So that is for the origami bag. Now there's other ways to fold a bag, right? We're going to talk about a few different versions, but this is just one way how you can fold it together to create a cool looking bag, something you may have not seen before, okay? So let's talk about way number 2 right here, okay? The second way to fold a rectangle is to fold it together in order to make a bag is to make it simply flat and flap it together and sew it together. So let me show you what I mean by that. So I have here, okay, my rectangle. So it doesn't really matter how big it is. It can be like this. It can be half the size, right? A really long rectangle like this, right? You can have it shorter, meaning on the side here, and then just fold together like this, right? So you have more kind of a, let's say a market bag version, right? So like this, or you can have it a bigger rectangle in every direction, right? And then you fold it together like that. And then all you have to do is sew the sides together right here and add your handles, right? So that is obviously more flat. There is not per se a bottom to it, but it is a bag. What is a bag? A bag is something that you can throw over your shoulders, hold in your hand, and has something to store something in, right? That's a bag. So this would be coming from a rectangle, right? So there's 2 different versions from the rectangle. You can make a square and fold it together, although it's going to be quite flat in this direction, right? But yeah, so this would be one way. So a very long rectangle folded together, or more of a wider rectangle and then fold it together, right? So there's 2 different ways how you can fold that rectangle. Although it's the same way folded, just the initial rectangle was a little bit different, right? Okay, so let me talk about the next version, okay? So the next version is a rectangle or a circular, something circular, and then you work your way upwards. So let me be a little bit more clear on this one, okay? So you take a rectangle. Let's say this is your rectangle, okay? I like using paper because it's easy to hold. Okay, if you have your rectangle like this, and then you're gonna have, literally you make a rectangle, a square rectangle, no matter what it is. I prefer using the thermal stitch, specifically the single crochet version. I just published 2 additional versions, which is the half double crochet and a double crochet thermal stitch. So there are multiple ways of making a thermal stitch. A lot of people don't know about this one, right? But you could simply make a square or rectangle. I'm saying rectangle in general, right? A rectangle, square, however, you can even make a circle, okay? And from there, once you have that piece, you're gonna work your way all the way around like a cylinder, like this. It's not gonna look like a cylinder if you make a square first or square, but if you have a circle first, then you can work your way upwards, and then you have a bag as well. So actually, let me show you an example for this. I have an example right here. I don't have it with me because I put it up in the attic, so I apologize. But right here is one of my bags. This is the Bobble Basket Weave bag. I used to have a crochet along with that, okay? So we started it out with a rectangle on the bottom, and then we worked our way into pieces upwards with different stitches, okay? Literally just upwards, okay? So that is one example on how to work from a square or rectangle upwards. Again, it doesn't matter if it's a square or rectangle. It depends on how wide you want the bag to be, okay? So that would be another option that you can be working on, right? So I have another option. Yeah, we're not done yet. This is the 4th way. Okay, by the way, if you have anyone who would love to see this, click the button that starts with an S, share button, and let your friends know, and hopefully you watch all the way through the end because we have more to go through. Okay, number 4 is many pieces sewn together. This is one of those that can be very hard to visualize because you seriously need to think about how many pieces do you need to make, and then how do you sew them together? So I have 2 examples for you. The very first one is this one right here, which is the windmill bag. By the way, I have all those patterns linked in the link up above in the description. Okay, so just check the link in the description. They're all right there. So right here is the windmill bag that I made. Okay, and that bag has 4 rectangles sewn together in a kind of like a windmill, so meaning outwards like a star, okay? And then sewn together right at the seams where they're going to be touching, so that it creates a foundation on the bottom and works its way up by sewing them together, okay? It's literally 4 rectangles sewn together, which is kind of cool, right? And so it creates this effect. That is 4 pieces. It's not a big deal how many pieces you have. In fact, I had previously a mystery crochet along, also mystery crochet along, and I made this one, okay, with Nadia together from Yarn Utopia. Okay, so this is my patchwork project bag, okay, and it has a rectangle on the bottom. So we literally made this in pieces. Then we have I believe 6, if my memory is right, 6 triangles that are in light pink all the way around on the bottom. Okay, we have 6 squares in the center of it in that darker pink. Then in the purple, light purple, we have triangles again, and then we sewed all that together. And then we have a rim around and then the handle. I have another one, which is also called the patchwork bag. I have another one. I think I called it the patchwork diamond bag. I don't have an example right here for that to show it to you, but it's yellow. I have that one as well. So you make little pieces, squares, triangles, rectangles, and then literally sew them together according to your imagination. You don't need a pattern for that. Just try it out. What could work together, okay? As you can see, you can start with just squares and fold them all together in a really fun way. I would highly recommend checking out some quilting websites because there really is the foundation of all those. Origami, you know, all kinds of stuff, and quilting, they all kind of have a foundation where things come together. And once you sew them together, they create some different object, right? So in this case, you can put a lot of pieces together and make that happen, which is so, so cool. So that is 4 different ways on how to make a bag. We're not done yet. We have one more to go. So let's talk about the very, very last one. The last one is circles. So there are more ways to do it, but as I said, I only focused on 5 because those ones are the 5 easiest and more well-known way to make a bag, right? So a circle way, I don't have a pattern myself for that. However, I know my good friend, Alex from Two of Wands, she does have a circular bag right here, so you can see that. So she literally made 2 giant circles. She actually also made a rectangle kind of around, like she made just a rectangle, very, very large one. And she sewed it together. That means she sewed the rectangle between the circles. So she has a little bit more room or storage room inside the bag. So there's a giant square, a rectangle, and then it has 2 giant circles. And that is how she made the bag, which is genius. So as you can see, there's a lot of geometrical shapes that you can literally put together in order to create a bag. It is really not that hard, I can promise you. So which one have you tried before? I would love to know which of those 5 ways you have created a bag before. Have you done it origami style? Have you done it as a rectangle? Have you done it as a rectangle folded together, or rectangle work your way up, or lots of geometrical shapes and then sewing them together, or a circle or multiple circles and then like 2 circles and then sewing them together to make a bag? I would love to know what you have done. Or is there another version that I may have not talked about, but it's also in existence? I'd love to know. I am so excited you were here, and I hope you watched all the way through, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye.